The United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense's latest intelligence update on Ukraine, Tuesday, September 12, 2023. In recent weeks, Russia has repositioned its short and medium-range air defense systems around Moscow in an attempt to more effectively defend against the drone attacks the city now experiences. Since early September, Russian Sa-22 air defense systems around the capital have been photographed elevated on towers and ramps. Previously, following strikes on Engels and Ryazan air bases in December 2022, Russia had also positioned Sa-22 systems on rooftops of government buildings in Moscow. This repositioning to higher ground almost certainly allows the Sa-22 radars to better detect and engage the small, low-flying drones. However, it is likely also intended as a public relations move, a highly visible demonstration for citizens that authorities have the drone threat under control. General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Update as of 6 p.m. September 12, 2023. Day 566 of Russia's full-scale invasion. Russia continues disregarding laws and customs of war, utilizing terror tactics, and attacking both military and civilian targets. Unfortunately, Russian attacks today killed and wounded civilians and damaged residential buildings and infrastructure. There were over 20 engagements today. In total, Russia launched 3 missiles, 25 airstrikes, and 36 MLRS attacks against Ukrainian positions and settlements. The situation remains difficult in eastern and southern Ukraine. Key developments: Ukraine repelled over 10 Russian attacks near Avdiivka, Marinka, Shakhtarsky, and Novodanilivka. Ukraine conducted successful offensive operations near Melitopol and made partial gains near Klishchivka and Robotyne, pushing Russian forces from positions. Russia struck various settlements across Ukraine with missiles, airstrikes, artillery, and mortars. Over 20 settlements were damaged, mainly in the east. Ukraine's Air Force conducted 8 airstrikes on Russian troop equipment concentrations. Ukraine's missile forces struck 2 Russian artillery systems, 1 ammo depot, 1 command post, and 1 anti-aircraft system. Russia repositioned air defenses around Moscow on towers and roofs to better detect Ukrainian drones. This is likely reassurance for citizens too. The Ukrainian armed forces continue offensive operations in the south and east, steadily liberating occupied territories. Ukraine maintains operational momentum despite Russia's terror tactics. The Institute for the Study of War, Russian Offensive Campaign Assessment. According to Russian insider sources, the Kremlin inner circle is again actively debating whether to conduct a second wave of reserve mobilization this fall. A Russian Telegram channel claiming security service connections reported that some officials are seriously preparing for another mobilization wave ahead of the semi-annual conscription cycle starting October 1st. It's important to distinguish between Russia's regular conscription, a large-scale mobilization of reservists like in fall 2022, covert mobilizations over time, and efforts to recruit contract soldiers. The channel claimed officials want to mobilize 170,000 to 175,000 reservists, delay conscription to November 1st, and recruit 130,000 contract personnel coercively. The channel also stated a powerful Siloviki Hawk faction proposes harsher mobilization rules like restricting deferments, sparking disagreement with the presidential administration. The administration purportedly fears backlash from officials in society over such measures. Mobilization debates highlight enduring manpower shortages and fractures within Russia's leadership despite previous drives. Forced recruitment suggests Russia is still struggling to regenerate losses. Disagreements over mobilization signify tensions between Kremlin hardliners and comparatively dovish advisors. The Institute for the Study of War key takeaways today. Putin has not decided on a second mobilization wave, despite ongoing debates. This highlights enduring military manpower shortages. Putin reiterated false narratives about Ukraine's counteroffensive failing and unwillingness to negotiate, amplifying propaganda. Kim Jong-un's visit to meet Putin likely involves discussions on North Korean artillery munitions for Russia. Russia adjusted Moscow's air defenses to counter drones and mollify complaints about ineffectiveness, more PR than substantive improvement. Russia conducted offensive operations along several axes on September 12, gaining ground in some areas. Ukraine launched successful counteroffensives near Bakhmut, Avdiivka, and in western Zaporizhia Oblast. Russia introduced a bill punishing soldiers who lose equipment, trying to curb losses. Russian officials continue deporting Ukrainian children under the guise of recreation programs. In summary, Russia is struggling militarily despite reinforcements and is relying heavily on false narratives and North Korean aid. Ukraine maintains operational momentum. The Kremlin continues unethical practices internally and in occupied areas.